Hey everyone, quick few tips here for those of you who are owners of a DJI RS2 gimbal or the RSC2 gimbal. I am an owner of Arca-Swiss type plates. There are different standards out there. There's Manfrotto and one or two others. And specifically, I've got a plate on the base of my camera that came with my Peak Design capture system. Slots in wherever I put this. That's really useful to me, but it doesn't fit into the apparently Arca-Swiss compatible plate that came with my DJI RS2 gimbal. That's a little bit frustrating because what I don't want to have to do is to swap it out to another plate that came with my RS2, because this plate then isn't compatible with my capture system. So it's a little bit frustrating that I've had to look for a solution, but fortunately there is a solution. Smallrig make another plate, a different plate. You've got to spend some money, of course, which is very frustrating. And this plate is compatible with all of my Arca Swiss type mounting plates. So whether it be something which came from my GorillaPod 5K or standard ball heads that I bought which are Arca Swiss compatible, they all fit perfectly onto this mounting plate here, which then of course goes in place of this plate onto my RS2. It's a slightly different design, as you can see. Instead of opening and closing that thing there, you then have the usual Arca Swiss in and out turny knob. One point to note is that for some Arca Swiss base plates, and I know for this one as well, that little capture knob there isn't quite perfectly positioned, but that's okay because they've worked that out and you can get that out of the way by pressing it down with your finger and locking it like that. That's really, really great. But a quick tip, when you're mounting this or trying to mount this onto your RS2, do not lock that because you won't be able to mount it. Leave it in the unlocked position, otherwise you'll have a terrible job trying to mount that. It simply won't go. But when it's in the unlocked position, it'll mount perfectly, and then once it's mounted, you can lock that out of the way if you want to. Take it from me, that's the thing to do there. I will put a affiliate link to get one of these if that's your problem and you want one down in the link. But really, it's made things so much better for me because it means I can just have one plate and I can use it across my range. That'll fit on my GorillaPod, it'll fit on the RS2, it'll fit into my capture plate. Why would you not do it? Why didn't DJI make it properly Arca Swiss compatible? Who knows? Couple of other things while I'm here. If you're into adding bits onto your RS2 or RSC2 gimbal, I would also recommend from Smallrig this handle here that you can see. Now, you will know that if you want to carry your gimbal in briefcase mode, that handle is really, really great. And what you would normally do is you'd normally unscrew the legs here and screw the legs into this portion here of the handle that comes supplied. That works and that's great, but it jolly well is a bit awkward to have to do that if you want to swap while you're doing some filming or something. And it also means that when you're in briefcase mode, you can't put it down on the table like this without then unscrewing it again. So Smallrig have produced this wonderful handle. It's a handle plus, of course, because it's got additional sockets there for you to pop stuff into in terms of attachments that you can attach either a monitor to or microphones to, other bits and bobs. You also got a little attachment on there on the standard arm, which is quite good. Smallrig also do, if you don't have your arm, they also do an arm that comes with a handle as well. That's much more expensive, but if you've got your arm, you may as well use that. The other thing they supply as well with this handle, which I thought was really good, is a thumb screw, which is just here. And that thumb screw replaces the slotted head screw, which is supplied by DJI as standard. And that makes it so much easier if you then want to alter the angle, for example, of this handle here. You can do it so much more easily just by, for example, doing it like that. And you don't need a screwdriver, and that's perfectly fine. It just works absolutely well. While that's out the way, it gives me an opportunity to show you another add-on which I purchased, which is just around here, just in there, clipping onto what's called a Nato port. This has a couple of Nato ports on the side. They also feed data through if you want to have arms that control the gimbal. So you take the controls away from there and you put them on the edge of arms, you can do that. But if you just want to attach things to it, like this handle, very secure, what they call a Nato Port attachment. And that little thing just in the middle there, very simple little thing. It has a cold shoe mount, and it also has a couple of other different size holes for you to mount other bits and bobs. And I've got a magic arm mounted to it. I don't know if you're familiar with magic arms, the concept of them, absolutely brilliant. You just loosen that and you can just do whatever you want with that. And wherever you put it, you tighten it up again like that. And that becomes solid as a rock. That's really good now. And as an add-on thought, that's gone out of picture now, so I'm just going to lower it down for you. As an add-on thought, I have an old iPhone 6S, which I use as my monitor in place of a field monitor, because I have something called the DJI Raven Eye. I'll do another video on this because it's so much better than anything like a field monitor. I'll compare the two in another video, that it makes perfect sense to use what's now a very cheap and easily obtainable iPhone 6S, big screen, touchscreen compatibility. It's just, I can't tell you how wonderful. Well, I can, and I will do in a different video. So there we are. There's a couple of attachments. First of all, if you want the true Arca Swiss compatibility, grab yourselves one of these, link in the description. If you want a much better little handle, which is more flexible in terms of the little thumb screw and has got more ability to attach things to it, link in the description. It means you don't have to use the feet and you can actually put it down on the table while you've got the feet. Oh, just those little things make such a big difference. And also, if you want to attach yourself a magic arm, you need that little thing there, and I'll put links to all that in the description. If you've got any ideas of your own, any kit that you're using that really makes the RS2 much more user-friendly, please let me know in the description below. Got any more questions, let me know. Apart from that, thank you very much for your time. See you in the next video.